With the Citi Double Cash Card, you get 1% cash back when you buy and 1% as you pay. That's like the joy of getting 2 W's on the road or catching the home run ball without spilling your drink. Double boom. Double the love with the Citi Double Cash Card. Apply now at Citi.com/doublecash.
And now, Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN Radio.
When I pop the trunk, head to death. Y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood.
Now act stupid, I'll pop the trunk. Now give me a boom.
I'm David Jacoby, and he is Steven Jackson in for Jalen Rose. Stack 5 in for Jalen.
What's up, my brother?
Let's get it.
I'm happy to be here. Let's go.
Russell Westbrook is now officially the NBA MVP. We all knew that, though. Mm-hmm. Like, we all knew it was going to happen. So there really wasn't much to sort of see except for the speech. You know, and the acceptance speech was nice, and the glasses and everything. What did you think of Russell Westbrook's historic season?
It was genuine, man. Even with his speech, I think everything worked out perfect. The season he had was remarkable. To be able to average a triple-double alone as a player, knowing how hard it is for me to get a couple triple-doubles, to average one is unbelievable. And like you said, we knew who was the MVP. Yeah. You know, like you said, we was looking forward to the speech, but I think everything worked out perfect. You know, him and KD both ended up winners with everything that was going on, and you know, I think the story ended out the way it should have.
Before this season, Jalen predicted that Russell Westbrook would average a triple-double.
Wow.
I thought that was absolutely insane.
Right.
Because, you know, just to have a couple, just to have 10 in a season, like the league leaders 2 or 3 years ago was 8.
Right.
How did it work out this way for him?
You have to have that motor. You have to have there's something about his motor. Like, he doesn't get tired. And yes, you have to be on a team where you have to be ball dominant. You have to be the only star to get that done. You see, it didn't happen when KD was there. If he bring Carmelo Anthony, another star, in to try to make this team better, he won't average one next year. So everything worked out for him. KD leaving, being on a team where he didn't have too many scores, not too many guys that can handle the ball, where he has to really do everything, helped them to average that triple-double. But very few guys could do that because they don't have the motor that he has. His energy level is on another notch.
That's something that the ex-players I talk to always say about Russell Westbrook. They always say the same thing: brings it every night, brings it every night. When you're like me and you're on the couch, it's like, well, I mean, you get paid $10 million a year.
You're
like, why bring it
that
every night?
Right.
But why do ex-players specifically respect this so much about him?
Because you have guys like Chandler Parsons that's getting $97 million that won't even play through an injury. You know, hasn't played in a couple of years. You have other guys that, where once they get the money, that they decline. They don't really care. They don't add to their game. When you got a guy like Russell Westbrook, who just signed a big deal right for this, and is one of the best players in the league, he's going to make a lot of money. He could have made excuses. My team is not that good. We lost Durant, But he didn't. You know, he played harder. You know, he got better. He added a lot of stuff to his game. And to average a triple-double after everything they've been through, after losing the MVP player like Kevin Durant, it says a lot about his game. And that's why people love him, because he not only did he continue to play well and got his team to the playoffs without KD, he stayed loyal. And, you know, a lot of people respect loyalty.
So his loyalty is about to be tested.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Oklahoma City Thunder have made it a priority.
It's not going to get tested, Jeff. I mean, I keep calling Jeff Jacoby. It's not going to get tested, Jacoby, for the simple fact that he's not going to pass up $75 million less.
No. Okay, but they're going to offer it to him right now. He's got another year. He's got another year. So they're going to say, sign this max extension right now today. We will offer it to you. Who knows what's going to happen next year? He's on contract to play for the Thunder next year. He does not have to. He's not a free agent.
Right.
If you were him, would you sign that big extension, which would make him the highest paid player in the history of the league?
Let me ask you, Jacoby, would you pass up $75 million?
No.
Okay. He wouldn't either.
But here's what I would do, though. I would have some conversations. I would say, look, before I sign this piece of paper, I need to know where we're headed. I need to know where your heads are at and who you put around me. I don't want to average a triple-double next year.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I would play the game a little bit. I would negotiate. I wouldn't just say, oh, thank you so much, I appreciate this. This is great. I would just make sure that they have a plan in place that I'm happy with, that I'm comfortable signing a 5-year deal.
Well, you know, y'all agree with you on that. But at the same time, after everything he went through with KD, and he had a chance to leave before, and he didn't, and he was able to win MVP, average a triple-double, I think for some reason that loyalty will stay intact, and he won't pass up that 75. And I think that if they're going to bring him back and commit to all this money, And because really, they're giving him all of it.
Yes,
to
yes.
be
The
honest.
salary cap support. They're just like, we're going to dedicate 33% of our salary towards you.
So they, like you said, something in writing has to be committed to making his team better as well. And I don't know how you can do that with giving him all the money. They don't have too many pieces to trade, that the other teams want. So they got to just be banking on him doing it, averaging another triple-double and getting him as far as he can by himself.
I have a crazy theory about Russell Westbrook that you're going to think is crazy.
What? I can see how you look at it. It's going to be funny.
He's not going to play that well next year. I'll tell you why. Brand new dad. Every brand new dad, they gain 15 pounds.
Yeah.
They start reanalyzing life.
Yeah.
Instead of those late nights at the gym, it's late nights just staring at your baby sleep. Like, is it that crazy that just like that having something that impactful happen in your personal life will have like an echo effect on your professional life?
Well, you know what's good about it though? That's true. Having a new baby in the house will change your routine. It will knock you off your game a lot, especially with rest. But the good thing about Russ and his wife, they had that baby at the end of the season.
I was thinking that.
So a lot of the
3 months.
They got that off time off the season while all the crying and the waking
by
up.
the time Christmas Day comes, it's already sleeping through the night.
Good.
Little Noah's gonna be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's sometimes okay. I think that's fair. They timed it out well.
They took him on a couple trips now, so he'll be good. Yeah,
he'll be
exactly.
good. Have you seen the picture of his baby? It looks just like him.
Just
I
like
love
Russ.
it.
Russ got some
it.
strong genes, man.
There's one thing about it is a lot of newborn babies all look the same. You know what I mean? Like they all kind of look the same. Everyone's like, "Oh, it looks like you, looks like the mom, looks like dad." It's like, no, they all look the exact same. To be honest with you, but his, it's like, "Oh no, that one is mine."
He's dead
right
on
there.
with Russ, yeah.
So he won. He's the MVP, and a lot of people reached out. And one thing I really liked was KD reached out in some sort of YouTube video, Instagram post sort of thing, said just gave him a congratulations to Russell Westbrook. Yes.
Nice.
Now you get that look on your face. What does that say to you?
Because I didn't hear about it, and I'm surprised. Not surprised that KD did it, but that I haven't seen it and I haven't heard about it.
It was a list. He was like, shout out to this guy, and Avery Bradley got this, and Defensive Player of the Year. He kind of gave everybody who won an award a little shout out, Coach D'Antoni, everybody. But I thought it was nice and mature of him to.
Yeah, why would he be bitter? He just won the finals and MVP of the finals. Like, there's no need to be bitter. At the end of the day, we can say what we want on the outside looking in, but they have some love and respect for each other. They played together a long time. They're still brothers, and I think everything on the outside kind of made that situation more than what it was. And I know for a fact that KD is happy for him in some way, and Westbrook, he's happy for KD too, because like they came in together. They might not be publicly about it because all guys have a lot of pride, but I know deep down inside, if it wasn't a YouTube match in some kind of way, Kevin Durant was going to get to him to say congratulations. I think Russ should have did the same when KD won the championship.
Oh, good point. Michael Jordan also reached out.
Nice.
Very brief message.
That's a problem for the NBA.
What's that?
Because that's putting ammunition in Russ that he probably didn't even need. By MJ telling you, congratulations, I won my first MVP before I won a championship. Keep going.
That's what he said.
You get a message like that from MJ, that's fuel to the fire. He might go crazier next year.
You think so?
Hey.
So that's the thing but Michael Jordan sure. I mean, look, Russell Westbrook is the face of the Jordan brand right now. He's their most highest profile athlete. I think he's got a higher profile than Carmelo Anthony right now. So there is a business reason. They have a business relationship. But at the same time, MJ owns another team.
Right.
And he's a competitor. He's one of the, he's famously a very competitive person. So I think that both of those two reaching out with notes for Russell made me very happy.
That was awesome. I mean, especially MJ. Like I said, you get a message from MJ saying those words, comparing, your careers.
He said, quote, I got my first MVP award before my first ring two.
Keep going. Yes. Awesome.
He got in the gym. He's like, you got the kid. He's like, you got the baby today. I'm going to the gym.
What? Put it in the frame, all this, man. Hey, put it above your locker every time you walk in there. MJ telling you, keep going.
But what about this one? And then, so KD reached out, okay, and then MJ reached out, and then Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
I love her.
She hasn't done a public appearance in a while.
Right.
And she did a nice video about Russell. Then she said at the end they've never met. My question for you is she trying to come up off Russell's wave here? Like, is she just trying to, insert herself in the news story?
Hey, I think for some reason they love Taylor because what we don't know is she's a big-time sports fan. She did some videos for, I think, the Super Bowl last year when she was running on a treadmill. It was a basketball commercial she did for the playoffs.
And then she fell?
Yeah, she fell. But she's really in tune to sports, I can tell. But I just love how she she's always involved in stuff, but she can make a joke out of anything. She's kind of the female Will Ferrell to me. You think she's serious, but she's always joking. I just love her personality, and over the years, I've seen her personality, and I'm starting to, I don't listen to her music. I don't know too much of her music, but her personality I love, and I love the fact she tuned into sports. That's pretty cool.
I don't listen to her music that much, but I'll bump Bad Blood every once in a while. She's got a couple. She's got a couple.
One thing I know about Taylor, she got that paper.
She's got a couple. I'm always listening to the Frozen and Moana soundtrack. You know what I mean? So I don't have time for Taylor.
I've seen it so many times.
So the NBA awards, the inaugural NBA awards were last night.
Speak on it.
I was excited about it. I've been a television producer my entire career. I worked on the ESPY Awards for years before I moved over to Grantland. So I looked at it as someone with a lot of experience in the industry. And I said, you know what? Not bad. Not bad for a first go. Not a flawless execution.
Right.
But I can see this becoming a thing. You watched it and said what?
I hope this is the last one. They got a lot of things wrong. I mean, how you have an award show, no LeBron, no Clay, no KD, no Kawhi. Like, it's hard to respect it when the best players are not there. And even if they're not getting an award, they should still be there. I just thought it was a little over the top. It was some good parts. Bill Russell, I think that was awesome.
Yes, love that.
Like you said, we talked about Russell Westbrook and his speech.
Yep.
A lot of people didn't like it, but I love Draymond's suit with the shorts, the tuxedo.
Okay, hold on a second.
I dug that. I kind of dug that a little bit. It's different.
Steven Jackson's in for Jalen. Now, you dug the suits. Okay, I'm not mad. I would never wear a suit with shorts, right? But I wouldn't be mad if I was at a wedding in the Bahamas.
I wouldn't wear it either.
And I would have linen shorts. It's just where you do it. But he had like a tuxedo jacket on.
Nice green. The green was awesome too.
But I just feel like with a big heavy tuxedo brings out my eyes. Yeah. Big heavy tuxedo jacket. You can't have it's just a little too. I could do the Dwayne Wade one was even better. I felt like.
Yeah.
The shorts with the suit, but I cannot do the big heavy jacket with the skinny shorts.
I wouldn't wear it, but as you see now, this new era of basketball players, they're really pushing the envelope with this fashion. I mean, they're wearing all kind of stuff that I wouldn't even think about wearing.
But we're old.
We're old. But I dug the green. I dug it. It actually looked good on Draymond.
It looked good on Draymond when he was sitting down. I couldn't see his legs.
Right. It blended in.
Because I didn't see it. I just saw him. I tuned in a little late, and I just saw him sitting there. I was like, oh, he's got a green suit on. That's interesting. Draymond Green, Michigan State. I get it. And then I saw the pictures with the shorts. I was like, oh, no.
The jacket was awesome, though. The jacket was awesome.
Do you think he deserved Defensive Player of the Year?
If he did, I think he did. I felt like it was only two people that deserved it. That felt like they brought it on defense every night. That guard the best players every night, and it's him and Kawhi. I think if Kawhi didn't get it, Draymond was the only guy that deserved it.
And I like the way they do voting with this, because you can't do fan voting with stuff like this, because it's not like fans are watching every single Draymond Green game and every single Kawhi Leonard game and comparing notes.
And it's the difference between blocking shots and stopping your man.
Yes.
Like people always like he blocks Gobert blocks shots, but he doesn't guard his man. When you're able to stop a key guy every night, when you're able to take that challenge every night and still score points like Kawhi does, I mean, you have to keep him.
They don't have a stat for they ran a play for my man, but I denied him the ball.
Right.
They don't have a stat for my man caught the ball in the wing, sized me up and down, jab stepped, and then passed back to the point guard, and then ran and around again. They don't have stats for a lot of the things that you can do as a defender, or even just changing a shot that misses.
Yeah, because but they need to figure it out, because for Danny Green to make all defensive team, obviously Pop called in the favor. And somebody, because Danny Green can get crossed over in the phone booth. I don't know what guy Danny Green guards. I mean, Avery Bradley really guards guys.
Yes.
Playoffs, regular season, he really gets. Danny Green doesn't guard anyone. Kawhi plays all the defense there. If Danny Green played any defense, they probably would have won against Golden State. But Danny Green doesn't play any defense.
They would have won a game.
A game, probably. But nah, I just disagree with that.
Danny Green, it was 3 years ago, Danny Green won the NBA Finals. Remember those 2 games he had when he was hitting all those threes against the Heat? Yeah. And I was like, oh, this guy's projecting to be like a next superstar,
Haven't
all-star.
seen him since.
Haven't really seen much of him since. Nope. You know, the three-point percentage went down a little bit, and the defense, like you said, isn't necessarily like it used to be.
Yeah, I didn't see much when I was there. He was one of my whipping boys. I used to post him up and ball.
He was 21 or something.
Hey. No, he actually wasn't 21 around that time. This was in 2014.
Oh yeah,
it was 2014. Yeah, when Pop got mad at me because I was destroying him and Ginobili in practice, and he wanted to play him, you know. But I'm really upset with him making defensive team. If Avery Bradley is a way better defender, Klay Thompson is a way better defender that guard better players than Danny Green. Like I said, good job, Papa, calling that favor in.
And the thing about Klay Thompson, which I like, is he oftentimes guards the point guard of the other team because Steph can't. So in the West specifically, we're talking about Harden and Westbrook and
Lillard
and Paul, those players. And when Klay takes on that, which is a little bit outside of his position and his size, and I think that probably is more deserving of it than Danny Green, who guards
who?
Yeah.
The third, fourth best player on the team.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not hard to do.
Kawhi's leftovers, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, if we need to stop somebody, Kawhi will guard them.
Come on, man.
Interesting. You know what? What I like about it is you're saying that as someone who played with them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, especially ex-players, they'll kind of ride for the guys that are in their phone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, guys you play with. Yeah. I'm a realist.
Yeah.
He's a great shooter.
Yes.
He's been a great shooter since he got in the league. When they left Cleveland and San Antonio was looking for him, we needed a shooter. We're not bringing him here for defense. He's been a great. It's been a while since he got hot shooting threes too. But just the all defensive team, the second team, I'm not buying that.
The Bill Russell moment, I absolutely
loved it.
So they had all the big men legends came out. I hope I don't miss one. We got Zoe, David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kareem did the speech.
Dikembe.
And Dikembe Mutombo came out with the finger wag, of course.
Right.
And then Bill Russell comes out. He's going to accept his award after Kareem's speech. And they bring him his cane. And Bill Russell's older than the rest of the squad. So he pauses for a second. And there was this moment where I was like, oh, is there a problem? Did he forget something? Was this speech going to go bad? And then he turned to these men that flew to New York City, took time out of their legendary Hall of Fame lives to honor him. And what did he say?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll kick all your asses.
I loved it. It was one of those moments where you can't help but laugh out loud. And he kind of looks like he's mean it. He's got a lot of W's. He played good basketball his entire life.
He meant it. He meant it. He got the most rings. But I know in the back of his mind, he looking at Shaq and like, Shaq, I don't mean that. In the back of his mind, if he looking at all of them, like, yeah, you. But Shaq, I might take that back. Shaq would have destroyed Bill Russell, man. We know that.
Really quick, not only did Avery Bradley not make it and Danny Green make it, Steph Curry received 3 votes for all defensive team.
That lets you know that, come on, man. Was James Harden should have been on that end if that's the case.
Yeah, for real.
Come on, man. I heard even Isaiah Thomas got a vote. These are 2 guys that just, oh my goodness, come on, man.
If they guarded each other playing 1-to-1, it would be 100 to 100 with a 100% field goal percentage.
The first person to miss lose.
Blue Moon is brewed with Valencia orange peel and a touch of coriander. It's a creative twist on a Belgian-style wheat ale for a taste that shines brighter. Taste responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Our new colleague Woj dropped another Woj bomb. He's saying that the Celtics are working on first signing Gordon Hayward, getting that done, and then trading a mix of their young players and their 25 draft picks in the next 3 years to the Pacers, receiving back Paul George. This is also a team that just drafted Jason Tatum.
Nice.
So you've got Tatum, Hayward, and George, all the same position. All obviously, Tatum has never played before.
Right.
I want to be positive about this. I know that you're positive about this, but here's my question. Is it a little redundant to sign to huge contracts both George and Hayward?
No.
Why not?
It's great because the game is smaller. So I would rather sign two 6'8", 6'9" wings that can do it all than have a guard and a big man who's limited. You know, I would rather have two guys that can do everything than have a guard that can do everything and a big man that's limited. With the way the league's going now, as small as the game is being played, you don't have too many centers and big men playing now. Paul's 6'9", Gordon is 6'9". They're both nice-sized guys. They can guard the fours in this league now. So if they can some type of way keep Horford, don't look good, but if they can keep Horford and play small ball with Gordon and George playing at 3 and 4 with Isaiah at the point, that's a dangerous
Put Bradley
team.
in there. It's just,
Bradley would be gone for sure. I don't think.
No, they've got a lot of picks, and if you're the Pacers, they've got Smart, Bradley, Brown. They've got a lot of young players that are attractive.
Bradley's going to be in that.
You think so?
There's no way that they're going to keep all those guys.
I hope no one in
and
India is
Bradley.
listening to this because I want Bradley to stay there.
Me too. Because he will be that defender they need. You know, he would be that defender. But can you imagine Isaiah Bradley?
Hayward, George, Horford.
Oh,
see, but when I watch the Celtics, I don't say.
But that would lose their bench.
That's the thing. They lose their bench, and they're a pretty deep team, but they really need help with bigs. They really need help rebounding. Remember that Wizards games? A couple of those games just got out-rebounded.
Right.
Against, the Cavs were out-rebounded. They
Olynyk
trouble rebounding
only give you so
basketball.
much.
Olynyk, Amir Johnson.
Yeah, he's done.
No, and then Jerebko. Then you just get into this this mess of kind of backup bigs they have.
Right.
There's a part of me that wants to see them fill out their roster a little bit more versatility than just doubling down on 3 brand new wings.
You're right. But if they get those wings, they're going to need that because you know you're going to get what you're going to get from your stars, but where your role players going to come in. You know where you guys, and if you get those 2 big stars, a lot of the role players definitely going to get traded. But like you said, they have picks. I like Tatum. I like that kid. He's going to be a star. He has nice size, and he's a similar Paul George type. So that'll be a great guy to learn from, Paul George. Tatum's going to be great, but if they can keep that core together and get those guys, Cleveland better watch out, man. I don't think they make it. I don't think they make it out the East next year.
You never know who's Cleveland going to have, though.
If they don't get Paul George, then they can hang it up. I don't think Melo's enough.
Couldn't you see? Really, I could see Carmelo coming to Cleveland.
I could too, but I don't think he's enough to beat the Golden State right now.
Then let me go this way with it. First, Melo has to get bought out by the Knicks, which is a huge if. Okay,
Don't take a buyout, Melo. Do not take a buyout.
Why wouldn't he take a buyout?
Man, get all your money, man. That's what Phil wants. You giving Phil what he wants. I don't like Phil Jackson. I hate Phil Jackson. I would never give Phil what he wants. If I was in desert and me and Phil, if I had a teaspoon of water, and I had to save it with him to share it, I wouldn't save it. I wouldn't share it.
Why do you feel that way about Phil Jackson?
For the simple fact that he's praised, but he's a sore loser. People don't acknowledge how much he's a sore loser. When we beat them, and when I was with San Antonio in 2003, he wouldn't even shake my hand after the game.
Really?
No, I went and I ran over there to him to shake his hand, like congratulations. I mean, just a good game.
And
whatever.
You're known as one of the great guys in the league, and everybody likes you, and you've got this great reputation.
I get along with everybody. I get along with everybody in the NBA, even guys that I threaten to beat up. You know what I'm saying? I get along with them because they know between those lines that means everything to me. But for him to not shake my hand because he was mad that we stopped the 3-peat, stopped that year, it showed me a different side of Phil. And then coming out with the posse remarks about LeBron, it made me hate. And he's showing his true colors now. And people always talking about he's a great coach. Well, and he invented the triangle. If you look at basketball, if you look at Boston before Phil came around, the triangle that's the game of basketball. He didn't create the triangle. It's always been a post. It's always been 2 wings. It's always been feed the post and cut way before Phil came around.
Sure.
So he gets a lot of props for stuff that he didn't create. And like I said, with all the stuff he's been saying, a lot, his true colors are coming out, and I just don't like how a lot of things that he say and his perspective on a lot of things.
If you're Carmelo Anthony and they offer you just a little bit less than max money, you're not taking it?
Yeah, I would. Me personally, I would, because I'm a winner. I don't never want to be in a situation where, okay, I'm making money, but I'm not winning. I won on every level I played in, from overseas to high school to the NBA. I want to win. If Carmelo's a winner, how much more money can he make? He's made a lot of money. He's going to make a lot more. Winning, adding on to that, pay attention to KD. He did it the right way.
So don't you feel that he should take a buyout, even though it is giving Phil what he wants?
To win, yes.
To win. And then he goes to the Cavs.
If you're not going to the Cavs, No.
Okay.
Just taking a buyout for the hell of it? No, don't do that.
So now you say that Carmelo to the Cavs isn't enough, and I understand that.
Right.
But, like, let me just try to pitch
it's
you
better
on
than
something.
New York.
Yes, absolutely, if you're Carmelo. But if you're the Cavs, let me pitch you on this. One of the problems the Cavs had last year was they overworked LeBron James. They overworked him during the regular season, and in the finals games, you saw him in the first quarter dunking on people, being aggressive, and then third and fourth quarter, he was giving up the ball, just because he was just tired. And I feel like, maybe Carmelo isn't going to compliment LeBron that much, but he's going to at least give LeBron spells where he can sit on the bench, and they can just give him the ball and watch him ISO.
Oh, no
5
question.
minutes.
He can carry the team for 2-3 quarters for sure.
And that during a long 82-game regular season, it's just less miles, less wear and tear on LeBron. So when you say Carmelo Anthony isn't enough to beat the Warriors, maybe not, but I would retort by saying a very rested LeBron James would.
I agree with Kyrie. I agree with that.
Like it's for me, it's not. Everyone says like, oh well, Carmelo, they're ball dominant. They've already got LeBron and Kyrie that are ball dominant. What are you going to do with 3 ball dominant ISO players? So, well, guess what? Maybe you don't play all 3 of them at the same time. I think one of the problems they had is because they only had Kyrie and LeBron to sort of like work their ball-dominant ISO offense through.
Right, and good thing about Carmelo, he's not playing too much on that wing. He's getting a little older, so he's trying to get everything on that box, and they didn't have a post presence last year in Cleveland.
No.
So he'll be a great post presence. Like you say, he can carry the load for a couple quarters, so that would give LeBron some rest.
They would try Kevin Love. They would try it, and he would dribble twice and go over it and do a jump hook, or he would dribble twice and then do a fadeaway over the right shoulder. They tried.
Kevin Love can't jump over a piece of paper, man.
They tried.
Yeah.
They tried.
They tried it.
He would get good matchups sometimes.
Against Boston, he looked like he was 7 foot high. He was just backing guys down and putting, Kevin Love, he looked like a great post player, but when he get against an athletic team with bigger guys, all he do is shoot threes, and when the 3 not falling, it's like he's not out there.
Yeah. If Paul George doesn't go to the Celtics, where could you see him going?
I heard Washington. I think Washington would be a great spot.
John Wall has been saying that he's recruiting him to Washington.
That'll be great because they're going
to have to give up some assets. They don't have a lot of cap space.
They don't have a lot of cap space at all. But just having Paul George is great. You're going to lose a lot. You're going to lose your bench. Otto Porter's a free agent, so you can't use him. But any team he goes to, he's going to be a great piece. But if he wants to win like championships, Boston and Cleveland should be his only options. He's definitely not going to win Indiana.
If you are the Washington Wizards, would you trade some young players, some assets to get Paul George, thinking maybe we can't retain him after this year?
Not worth it.
Probably not worth it.
Not worth it.
He's going to end up on the Celtics with Gordon Hayward. This is how this is going to play out.
And if it does, Cleveland's run is over.
So just real quick, when the news breaks that they signed Hayward and then they traded for Paul George, if you're LeBron James and you look in the mirror, there's no one else around, what do you say to yourself?
We got to do something quick.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know what he says? He's like, 1 year here, and then we're going to rebuild in Los Angeles.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Exactly right. That would force him to go to L.A.
Yeah. If you call 985-80-JALEN, you can leave us a voicemail. If you leave us a voicemail, we'll play it on the show just like this.
What up, guys? It's T-Stack from Las Vegas. I got a question for you guys. Boss move or soft move? Balling up high school kids at the gym, even though I'm the grown man, but I am rehabbing my shoulder.
Steven Jackson, you take that one.
That's a soft move, man. Hey, I don't care if you rehabbing your shoulder. If you're a grown man playing against kids, unless you're playing against that kid that went through Oladipo's legs, then you got to destroy him. You got to block his shot, throw it out the gym. But if it's some regular kids, man, go play at the LA Fitness.
I'll say this,
man.
Just like voting. And if you are 18, anything goes.
Anything goes.
Anything goes at 18 and above. Or if you graduated. If you've already graduated high school, anything goes. If you're a freshman in college or a sophomore, if you're over 18, it's fine. But if you're 16 years old, you don't really even have hair in your armpits, and you're getting pushed around by a grown man, come on.
Right. You can't take advantage of a kid like that. But like I said, unless it's that 12-year-old that can play, that can play that can play and dribble and that's advanced. Yeah, you got to put it on him, but don't do the kids like that, man.
I thought it was kind of foul. It's like in today's day, Oladipo's at a camp. You know what I mean? He's giving the kids memories.
He wasn't expecting that.
He wasn't. You know what I mean? You could tell he was half in his defensive stance. He was pushing the dude right with a right-hander anyway, and it just kind of felt like he got got.
Oh, yeah.
Good for him.
They got you on camera.
Another thing you don't want to do is run back real hard to try to block the shot and then miss
it.
Yeah, so he
Oh,
kind of stood there.
goodness.
So he stood there 15 feet from the basket and was like, oh, I'll just let that one live.
Now you see why you have all these NBA players in summertime at these camps blocking these kids' shots so hard because they don't want to get embarrassed like Oladipo did. Pay attention, people.
I know you play pickup because I follow you on Instagram.
Yep.
Do people go at you twice as hard?
Yes. This is the biggest game of their life.
Yeah.
Last week, some kids beat us the first two. Well, when you play, once you lose, you down like 4 or 5 games. Yeah. So I was only able to play 2 games, and they beat us both games. They had a better team, and the kid walked by me with his Snapchat. Look, we just we beat Steven Jackson 2-0 today. So it's their biggest games. They really rub it in, but hey, it is what it is. Man.
And you've got a great reputation. Everybody loves you. But I know, like 10 seconds after losing a pickup game, you can't be that happy.
No, if I lose in anything, if I lose one Skittle out of Skittles pack, I'm pissed. I'm mad. I hate losing. Like the other day when we lost in the Big 3 to Kenyon and the Al, with my close friends. After the game, where we going to eat? Man, I don't want to be around y'all for an hour. But they would not let me sit in my sorrow. They took me to dinner, but I hate losing. I love to win, man. I hate losing.
Good. Thanks so much for the call. Shout out to Las Vegas. Let's listen to the next voicemail.
What up, Doug? Henson from Seattle, 13 years old. And I was wondering if Kevin Love will be in the Hall of Fame someday. He's a 4-time All-Star. He's got a ring. He averages, in his career, 18 points a game, 2.4 rebounds a game, and 2.4 assists per game, and 11.5 rebounds per game. Kevin Love, a Hall of Famer. Keep getting into it.
I think he will be if he adds another championship or 2. I think he will be. Especially if they keep their core together in Cleveland, where he's a part of that Big 3. And they can win one more or something. I think he will be. His stats are unbelievable. I mean, sometimes stats don't get you in the Hall of Fame.
He's a frustrating player.
I got 13 more thousand points than Yao Ming, and I'm not in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I got 3,000 more points than Yao Ming in my career, and a championship. So sometimes that don't get you in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm. And I think that
Antoine Jameson, 20,000 points. He's not in the Hall of Fame.
20,000 points is a lot of buckets.
A lot of buckets.
That's a lot of buckets. And I think about with specifically Love is when the games get bigger, he seems to get smaller.
Yes.
And like that's not great for your Hall of Fame.
That's not Hall of Fame-ish.
Like a big shout out to Henson, especially 13-year-old listening to the show, calling up the show. Really appreciate that. But like, there is something about Kevin Love where the stats can hide some warts when you watch the games and him play in them.
Exactly.
He's not a great defender.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can kind of see guys smaller than him saying, I'm just going to go around him.
Yes.
And you can see guys bigger than him being like, give me the ball. It's just not great for your resume if you're trying to get into Springfield, Massachusetts Hall of Fame.
And like his stats are great. He's putting up great numbers, but it's a lot more to it. And then you got to think, even I learned this. When you get inducted to Hall of Fame, it's your overall body of work, not just the NBA. It's high school, college. It's your whole body of work.
International, if you're
international, yeah. So international, like guys like Jimano Ginobili, he's a shoe-in for a Hall of Fame.
He'll get there.
Shoe-in, because he has a medal.
International,
the international star.
The NBA loves the globalization of the game, and they want to support that, and I get it. If Manu Ginobili was from Puerto Rico to Texas, would he get into the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely not. Well, I don't know.
No.
Because, no, he wouldn't. But the career he's had, yes. The numbers he got, no.
He would have a different game. So who knows? Yeah.
No. Championship-wise, yes, he would be. Stat-wise, no, he wouldn't be. You got to look at how many turnovers he averaged a game.
Yeah.
Ginobili averaged some turnovers, bro. But at the end of the day, he will be in the Hall of Fame for sure. And if I had to vote for him, I'd definitely vote him in, too.
Let's listen to the next voicemail. Thanks so much for the call.
What up, though? It's Andrew from Urbana, Ohio. Got a question about the NBA. So I'm a Suns fan. Now, never watch their games because they're always on late and never on, so they suck. How long should it take a team to rebuild in the NBA? 3 years? 4? 5? Just trying to know when we can expect to make the playoffs. Thanks, guys. Keep giving people what they want.
Appreciate the shout, Andrew. The question is, how long should it take a team to rebuild it? The answer is complex because it takes a little bit of luck. It takes some draft luck.
It takes some draft luck, but like they're in a good direction because you got a coach in Earl Watson who he played with a lot of passion. He played hard. So I'm pretty sure he can see which guys are going to play and which guys care about winning. I think the NBA, especially the teams, don't do a great job of doing homework on guys before they sign them. You know, you can do homework on these guys to see if they care about the game, to see how hard they play, to see if they really want to be great, to see if they really want to be great teammates. You can tell that. As from being a player, I can look at guys without even knowing them, watching them warm up, watching them before games, and tell how serious they are, or how much passion they have for the game. If teams do a better job in that, of bringing the right players in and letting the coaches have more input, like coaches that played, I think the time span of rebuilding wouldn't be 4 to 5 years. It would be 1 or 2 years, because you got more guys that's on your team that care, more guys that buy in, more guys that dedicated to these other guys on this team and being great and winning, and not just the money. If you can lock in on narrowing that down, it won't take too long, and you'll have more better teams.
It's one of my favorite quotes recently was from Coach Thibodeau when they acquired Jimmy Butler, and he was like, "If a dog doesn't bite as a puppy, they're not going to bite when they grow up." And Jimmy Butler has been biting since he was a puppy. And we know that Jimmy Butler came into the Bulls system, and Thibodeau got to him early. And it was just one of those interesting things. It was saying that like a lot of it is nurture, how you grow a player and how you develop them. But there's also a lot of just nature, like what is inside of them. And,
some of that stuff you can't teach.
Yes, exactly.
And you can be a dog, but if you're a dog with no bite,
you can put up a lot of stats, and maybe you can even make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but you're not going to win.
Let's listen to the next voicemail.
What's up, Jalen Jacoby? This is Justin from Milwaukee. Boss move or soft move? Not foreign players not disclosing their age to NBA teams. Keep giving the people what they want. Love the show. Peace.
It's a tricky question, Jackson.
Are they doing that?
Here's the thing. A lot of players that come into the league, people question whether or not it's their actual age, because it doesn't have some countries don't have the same documentation like we do here, where it's all organized. We know where you were born, we have your birth certificate, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So people have questions about Thon Maker, for example, or Serge Ibaka, for example. A lot of the time it's people from African nations. And then I don't want to say it's a soft move or a boss move, because I don't necessarily know even if it's those individuals making those decisions and misrepresenting their age. Sometimes it's people around them or their parents or their coaches or whatever that kind of knock them down 1 or 2 years. But if you're knowingly misrepresenting your age, it's a soft move.
Yeah, if you're knowingly doing it, it's dead wrong.
Sure.
But, there's a lot of kids that come from over there that are bigger than normal. Thon Maker, for sure. Thon is one of them. But it would definitely be a problem. Definitely be a problem if they come to find out these kids are older than what they say. And I think it should be, because there's so many kids that are talented at that young age that deserve that opportunity. But if you got a guy that's coming in and saying he's 19, he's really 35, like that, it would be funny, but that would kill the game. That would kill the game.
It would.
Blue Moon is brewed with Valencia orange peel and a touch of coriander. It's a creative twist on a Belgian-style wheat ale for a taste that shines brighter. Taste responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
I'm so glad you're here today, because last night was the debut airing of the BIG3 basketball games. And Sunday in Brooklyn was the debut event. The world is buzzing about this. Okay, not the world. The NBA circles are buzzing about this.
Yes.
I have a lot of questions for you.
Let's go.
My first question for you is, what was surprising about it?
That we had 19,500 people in that arena ready to watch us play.
One thing I love about that is they have the tickets are $25.
Yes.
You can bring a family.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I've got kids. You've got kids. It's not $80 a piece. If you got 2 kids, you're looking at before you even leave the house. It's $240 before you bought a snack.
Right.
I think that is very nice. And I lived in Brooklyn for 15 years. There's a lot to do.
Right.
You're competing with a lot in New York City on a summer weekend. A lot of people leave town. There's a lot of events and festivals going on. To bring that kind of a crowd there must have been exciting.
It was awesome, man, to get to start off in Brooklyn, and to see how everybody accepted it was unbelievable. I think that was smart by Ice Cube to go to Brooklyn, the mecca of basketball. They love basketball there. And, we all have a lot of fans in Brooklyn. Even though the Nets are there, and when you go in Brooklyn and you have different players go in Brooklyn, you walk on the streets, they know everybody because it's such a basketball-dominant place.
Yes.
So they know everybody, and they love the game, and they came out and supported great. To be able to compete again and to be in that arena with that scenery you know, it felt like we were back. You know, I remember I told Al when we was walking on the court.
Al Harrington, who you played against.
Yeah, my best friend. Yeah. We was walking on the court, and I hit him with the old trading places line. We're back, Mortimer. We're back at the top, baby. And it just feel good to, you know, not only the days before, you know, to be able to have that camaraderie with Kenya and all the guys that I'm real close with, to be able to hang out and break bread together and also play on a big stage was what we all feel we still can do. You know, a lot of guys, I know me, Al, we definitely feel like we can still play in the NBA, you know, because we still work out all the time. And this is an opportunity for us to still compete and show people we still can play. And I think everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah. How you get a tech at the beginning of the game? That's when I knew you were back. You got a tech early in the game.
But it wasn't a tech arguing with the refs. So you got to give me props. It wasn't. Normally I get tech. I lost $500 too, by the way.
You got $5 for that?
I know what happened was I told Al that I wasn't going to argue with the referees about a call and get a tech, which I didn't.
You did it.
But I ended up getting a tech, so I still had to pay him the $500. You know, Rashard McCants he's like a little brother to me. Like I raised him like we cut from the same cloth. Like he really respects me, and I have a lot of respect for him. But I raised him. So doing those lines, he don't care if I'm his big brother or not. I'm trying to win. I'm going through you, big bro, and everybody else to win. That's why I love him. We have the same attitude. So we got the bumping, jaw jacking, you know, talking, which we all do. Sure. And it got into a little pushing, but it got to the point where even on Instagram after the game, I got on there and gave him his props and let everybody know we played like we didn't know each other. But I love him like a little brother. You know, I had to put that on Instagram because people thought it was something else.
Yeah, because they don't know that you have a relationship.
They don't understand how we play the game.
Of course.
The game has done a lot for our lives. Yeah. So when we on that court, I don't care who out there. I'm trying to win. You know, and it's good for the game.
It is. And to that point is, I think one thing that was surprising is from everybody watching is what is the actual basketball going to be like? Is it going to be competitive? Or are the players going to be in shape? Are they going to take it seriously? Or is this going to feel like an exhibition? And I think that was that was answered very clearly that this is going to be competitive, not just with the level of basketball, but like the attitudes that the players bring to the court.
Right.
And you might mix it up a little bit. One thing I wanted to ask you about was the hand checking.
The rules changing.
Talk to me about that.
We got a conference call tonight.
Break some news
about the rules.
Break some news
about well, is what we talking about is like things went great to me the first week. You know, and I'm a captain, so it's always room for improvement.
Yeah, and before you continue, one thing is the first time you do anything, there's always going to be
exactly
the first time you do anything, especially in television and entertainment and sports. Like you can't just the first time you do anything, it's not going to be smooth and clean. You should have a conference call. Yes, exactly. Yeah. But staying positive, what are some things you want to change moving forward?
Me, just the rules, just the way they call the game. You know, they wanted the Big Three to be more physical.
Yeah, like a street ball feel.
But you got too many guys that's been playing this game a long time that's not going to go out there when it's called like that and get hurt just for the game of basketball. If we're going to go out here and play this game the right way and give everything we got, then we want it to be called the way we know how the game should be called. In all actuality, if the game was called the right way, Al would have had 100 points and I probably would have had 60, to be honest. You know, all the fouls that they didn't call. But like you said, it was the first week, and I really have no complaints, to be honest, Jacoby. It was a great first week. Guys competed. A couple guys got hurt. Yep. But I think him and Roger did a great job by making our game against Kenyon Martin, Al Harrington, and Rashard McCants the last game, because we most of us guys, the guys that been on Instagram working out, that they know been working out, and that was the most competitive game that day. And but Al Harrington is going to be a problem in the whole league because, like I said, he still can play in the league.
He hit the game winner right over you.
Right over me.
Right over you.
You know, and he owed me that because in the NBA, I crossed him, I dunked on him. I got the best of him. I got the best of him in the NBA. And you know Al, man. Al's 250, 255. Yes. He's a load, bro. And he's the only guy that size in this league that probably can handle and shoot like that.
You're supposed to be doing a tough shot.
Oh, no. I guarded him well. I guarded him better than anybody could possibly guard him. You know, but at the same time, he's still a tough guard. Shout out to my boy Al, man.
I was in New York when he was in New York, and he had a season or two where it was like, this guy,
he can put it up.
Stop this guy from scoring from anywhere.
Right.
I'm really concerned about your team. First of all, your team is obviously my favorite team because you've got Chauncey and you on it.
No,
It
that's
feels
the thing.
like,
We didn't have
now.
Chauncey.
What is going on here?
We didn't have Chauncey first game.
Do you have Chauncey on the text? Are you not texting him like, I know that you've got multi-million-dollar business things to take care of, but you made a commitment to the Killer Threes, and we need you?
I signed on as the co-captain for the simple fact that Big Shot picked me as a co-captain. Even we were in the NBA, Big Shot talked about having me come play with him. If I would have had Big Shot the other night, it would have been a totally different game because he knows the game. He's a floor general. He's going to control the game. I'm all happy for him with this job.
No.
I am.
I'm going the other way.
I'm happy for
you
him.
You committed to the Killer Threes.
He did. And I have a little sour spot that he's not there. Trust me. I texted him before I even got dressed after the game. Man, you left me in the bad spot. You left me in the bad spot.
Look, if you're not going to decide, then just come play and then decide the next day. You still got a few open hours in the day. Come on, Chauncey.
He told me here in the
Killer Threes need you. How long is it going to take to make this decision, Chauncey?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be patient. I'm trying to be patient with him. But, like I said, either way it goes, I'm happy for him. But I would love to be able to get in this Big Three and have the Big Shot Chauncey Billups by my side, man. That would be awesome. I love my teammates I got now. But to be real, we need more. We need Chauncey to be successful in this league. Or Baron Davis, Gilbert Arenas, where y'all at? I'm calling y'all out.
How are they not in the league?
Everybody have their own things going on. I know those guys still play. And, schedules, families, kids, and stuff like that, sure. But at the end of the day, those guys we can definitely use. Because I know next year it's going to be some bigger names.
Yes.
Paul, KG.
You can feel that. They came to the game.
It's coming.
Paul even said, because you're that close. But Paul was suited up for the Clippers like 2 months ago.
Yes.
And when you're that close to playing professionally and then you're watching this happen, it's like,
your juices come back.
Yes.
Your competitive spirit come back.
Of course. I have a lot more questions about the Big Three. I know how competitive that you guys can be.
Right.
I know how much you work out. I know how you feel about yourselves. And I know that there are conversations amongst your opponents and teammates about the Olympics adding 3-on-3.
Mm-hmm.
Have you considered putting together a team to try to win the Olympic gold at 3-on-3?
Would it be fair?
What do you mean?
If I put a team together? Like, if me, Al, and McCants, or me, Al, and Chauncey put a team together, it's a no-brainer we'll win.
Don't you want to go to the Olympics and win a gold medal?
Yeah, but they won't pick guys like me.
Why not?
Because I felt like some years in the NBA I could have played in the Olympics.
You think they're gonna probably pick younger guys that they're trying to develop that will eventually play for the U.S. 5-on-5?
They're gonna pick the guys that they market. They're not gonna pick a 39-year-old Steven Jackson to go play in the Olympics. Even if I'm capable of beating the team that they put together. And I actually think this: if they don't pick the top NBA players, then me and my team would beat them. But I doubt if the top NBA players go for 3-on-3.
They're actually doing some sort of like weird open enrollment. Like,
I wouldn't do that.
Play your way.
I wouldn't try out
or whatever. Yeah,
I wouldn't try out like that. No, I wouldn't play in no tournament to see who wins. I wouldn't. If I get picked, that's different.
What if you win the Big Three championship? Don't you feel like you should get an opportunity to play the other team?
I agree. I think whoever wins the Big Three championship I think they should go.
Yeah. That's it. Right when I found out they were adding it, that's what I tweeted. I said the Big Three champions should go.
I agree with you on that.
I agree with you on this. Big Three's going to have some bigger names next year.
No, they've already talking. They were already talking.
Oh, wait, but what are the free agency restrictions here?
But the big names that I've talked to that came to this weekend, they won't play this year, but they're all talking about we're putting our teams together for next year. So this league going to only get bigger. Trust me, it's going to only get bigger.
That's exciting.
Super exciting.
And I feel like you guys should have. Look, I'm not a commissioner. I'm not a commissioner of the Big Three yet, but I feel like you guys lost Chauncey Billups, your captain. I feel like you guys should be able to bring in whoever you want.
Well, we brought in our alternate, Eddie Robinson, but we can't get another player till Chauncey says that he's definitely taking the job. Like, he's still a captain of our team. I called Gilbert Arenas. I called Baron Davis. None of those guys replied yet, but I need someone of that caliber guard that can score and that can control the game, if not Chauncey. But I would rather it be Chauncey. Yeah. Please, Chauncey. Please, brother.
How do I say this politely?
Please, brother.
Chauncey brings a different maturity than a Gilbert Arenas or a Baron Davis would to the game.
Totally
Let me just say
different.
that.
He does.
Yes,
He does.
The other two are great basketball players, but Chauncey's a little bit more stable of a leader, we'll say.
One thing about it, Chauncey knows, but BD too, they know how to keep me focused and keep me focused, playing well, because I respect those guys. But I've always wanted to play with Chauncey, and my mindset was going into this league with having him on my side. So it's been a little change, but we still have 9 more games left to get to the championship.
We'll see. I think that there should be some tweaks. I heard it was like a 6-hour event. Too long.
Because game
too
3,
long. What time did you get there? What time did you play?
I got there at 1
p.m.
and we didn't play till like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So that has to change. We got there too early, but the games wasn't supposed to go that long. But like you said, it was the first day, so they still trying to figure the timing out. But like I said, it's going to continue to get better. Shout out Cube, shout out Roger, shout out Jeff, man.
What other rule changes are you thinking?
It's only the rules should be changed. The foul, like the head checking and
they're not shooting free throws, though, right?
But it was fouls where you'll jump and the guys just knock you down and throw it up, and it's not a foul. It's fouls where Al got his man off his feet and Reg Evans landed on his back and shot it up. They didn't call it, so it's just like obvious calls that you skipping to try to make it look physical, where somebody's gonna get hurt. You got to clean that up. And like I said, if you don't clean it up, then all the big names that's talking about playing, they're not gonna come play. Because they're not going out there just to play prison basketball. Let's go do a crime and go to jail and play prison basketball. We want to play the game of basketball we know. We want it to be physical, a little head checking, but not to the point where guys you just blatantly not calling calls to make the game look physical.
Say off the ball physicality and even on the dribble physicality, but when you're in a shooting motion or about to shoot, it needs to be a little bit different.
And you still got to allow guys to run to their spots and all that too. Now I ain't saying just do it the way the rules are now, but you have to call foul a foul. Like I said, even if Al's going to average 80 points in this, he still deserves that foul. Or if he gets hurt, not calling it, now the league's hurting because the best players are not playing.
Well, you're a player. You're in the game.
Right.
I'm a fan. I'm watching the game. And you know what I don't want to see? A bunch of missed shots.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to see teams shoot 25%, 30% from the field. That's not aesthetically pleasing basketball for me.
Especially when the game is now shooting threes and they shoot 17 a game.
So it's like, and I understand that 3-on-3 is going to be very different than a full court 5-on-5 game, but like you still have to give the people what they want. Like I want to be entertained if I spend $25 to bring my family there, and watching a bunch of guys miss shots because they got fouled isn't that entertaining.
That's definitely not entertaining. But just like you said, Al was getting fouled so much that it's a rule when you get to a certain amount. Couldn't stop him. And when you get to a certain amount of fouls, you get the free throws and the ball. So it's tough. It's tough in that. It's tough in the 3-on-3, man.
How long is the conference call going to be?
With me on it.
How many people are on it?
All the captains. All the captains are going to be on it.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, but like I said, for the most part, we have no complaints. It's just the rules.
Sure.
As players, I've been around all the guys. I hung out with all the guys. Hotel, everything, uniforms, everything has been perfect. Perfect. It's just the rules of the game that has to change.
I'm excited to watch this league develop.
Me too. I'm excited to be a part of it.
I'm excited to watch it develop because I could see it completely falling apart, but there's a bigger part of me that could see it like 4 years from now being like an NBA offseason.
It's going to be the new NBA D League. Watch.
And people, it'll be the opposite though. It's going to be like the Z League. It'll be like when you're done with the league. When the NBA decide they don't want you anymore, you go right into the Big Three, and you can play your way back into the NBA. I could see that happening down the road. And also, we're going to look at this like this, be like, Ice Cube was in NWA, and then he was an actor, and then he was a producer, and then he was a director, and now he's the commissioner of a pretty successful sports endeavor.
Wow.
Good for him, O'Shea Jackson.
O'Shea.
Good for him. You guys are cousins, right?
Somewhere down the line, we haven't did the ancestry, but I know we can somewhere down the line. Okay, all the Jacksons are kin.
Good. Real quick, what should the Clippers do with this offseason?
They should have been. I mean, we say this. How many offseasons we've been saying this, Jacoby?
Well, no. The question is should they break up the team?
How many?
Should they break up the team? The answer is yes.
How many summers have we been saying this?
5.
5.
6. Yeah.
So finally, they should do it. They've been saying, well, we're going to do this. We're going to add this. It's going to work.
Yeah, Danny Granger, you know what I mean? Big Baby Davis, Steven Jackson. We're going to bring these guys in.
Anybody in, and it's going to work. No. I think Chris Paul should go to San Antonio. I don't agree with the pay cut he's going to have to take. But if he wants to win, which from what I know of him, we're good friends. My son Cam and his son are real close. Me knowing Chris Paul, he wants to win. I think he's actually thinking about this San Antonio move. Now the money's, hey, I understand it's $30 million difference. I think
so it's $50 million, but then you factor in taxes and this new Trump tax thing. It ends up being about $26-27 million. Shout out to Forbes.com. I read that.
Shout out to Forbes. But you know, living in Texas, you get some of it back. The cost of living is cheaper.
Yeah.
I think if I was him, I would definitely having Kawhi, LaMarcus Aldridge. They're gonna sign Gasol back. You never know. PG still thinking about. He even mentioned something about San Antonio. So no telling what Pop can do. Pop does the most spectacular things when it comes to finding players and getting players. He found Kawhi. He found me. You know, so
Simmons and Dedmon. There's a long list of
long list of guys. So I would trust Pop and to helping me get to that championship for him. So if I was Chris Paul, I would go because he's not going to win the championship here. Doc is not coaching these guys the way they need to be coaches in my mind. And they don't have the core guys. They need a guard, a small forward or a shooting guard that can actually score and defend. Bamute can defend, but he can't hit.
And Redick can score.
And he can score, but Redick can get crossed over in the phone booth. Yep. And what's Butu? What's
Bamute?
Bamute can't hit a house if he was in the kitchen. So you have to find someone that can do both. And but if they haven't found that, you know, Paul, you know, I think Paul had more in the tank that they allowed him to use. Honestly, I really feel like Paul they didn't let him play the game that he know he can play. But Chris Paul needs to go. I don't think Blake. You know, I honestly don't think if they could get somebody for Blake, a PG for Blake, a Carmelo for Blake,
a trade or something,
that would be great. I don't think DJ should be the one gone. I think it needs to be Blake. DJ is a great player in my mind. It's very few guys that size that can rebound and jump and run the floor and block shots and do what he does in this league. But if I was Chris Paul, I would definitely think about going to San Antonio. They need to break this Clippers thing up because it hasn't gone nowhere in 5-6 years, and they keep saying the same thing every summer. Should we break it up? The answer is finally yes.
The answer is yes. Stack, we have a game here called Soft Move or Boss Move. Doesn't even need to be explained. You ready?
Let's do it.
Draymond Green wore shorts with his tux jacket. Shorts with a suit. Soft move or boss move?
It wasn't a boss move. So, I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't a boss move. It was soft move. It wasn't a boss move.
Okay. I agree.
It wasn't a boss move.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it. I thought the jacket was a little too heavy to be wearing some shorts.
Yep.
And also, it's nighttime in New York and no socks. He had some loafers on. Like, this is New York City. You know, you're going to be in cabs in the subway. You're not on the beach.
Right.
This isn't shorts. I lived in New York for 15 years. I only wore shorts when I was playing basketball. No matter how hot it was. You don't want your exposed thighs on the subway.
Yeah, that's a soft move. We're not going with that one.
LeVar Ball went on Raw and took his shirt off. Taking your shirt off on national television for no real reason. Soft move or boss move?
Super boss move because he took his shirt off and he had Baller brand, the BBBs all over the ring.
Yeah, he
Great
did.
marketing. Hey, man. I hated this guy, but I'm starting to love him. I'm starting to love him.
This is starting to happen to me, too. I'm glad you, because at first, I was very, very anti-LeVar Ball. I still am, because I feel like we as sports media have enabled him to sort of create this thing, and then when he says something that's slightly misogynist, we're all like, whoa, hey, that's bad.
Right.
But then you look at the passion that he has for his kids, and then you look at this from Rob Pelinka, the manager, the general manager of the Lakers, went to his house, saw him train 20 local kids, not going to the NBA,
right.
20 local kids at 8 in the morning, and then brought them all to his house and made them breakfast.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, I like this guy. Do you know why I think that taking your shirt off was kind of a boss move? He was in shape.
Right.
Like LeVar, he looked pretty good.
Right.
Like, when I saw him start taking his shirt off, I was like, oh, this is not going to go well. I was like, this dude is like 50. He's looking good, man. Good for him.
Right. And he did a great job. He did a great job on that, too. I love his how he brought his son and how he slid in the ring, and once he slid in the ring, he couldn't pull off the whole slide, so he just laid there. I think that was awesome, man. But his marketing and his passion for his kids is something I totally respect about him.
And one thing I love about it is, especially Lonzo, is the juxtaposition between his personality and his dad's.
Totally
different.
It'd
be one thing if they were all kind of crazy and loud,
Night and day.
but Lonzo's just like, they just kind of laugh at him, and their attitude of being like, he hasn't been this way since I declared myself for the NBA draft.
Right.
He has been this way since I was born. Like,
Since
you guys,
day one.
he's just got a camera pointed at him now. Like, this has been the same around the house forever. Just now he's just got, a country on his fingertips. Good for him. And also, I'm always going to support someone turning their back on huge corporations and saying, I'm going to do this on my own.
And one of them corporations is going to call him because they need to learn how to market like he's doing.
Yep. Well, they're gonna call a few times when they look at the shoe sales.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, "Are you sure you don't want to reconsider? Offer still on the table. Numbers a little smaller, but offer still on the table."
Right.
They're gonna keep calling.
Great job.
D'Angelo Russell was on the Lakers. Got traded to the Nets. We all know what kind of happened behind the scenes with him and Nick Young and everything. So he had an Instagram post where he was in the Nets facility working late night on his game. And then he was asked about that, and he said, I was supposed to have a teammate with me, and he suggested it was Karis LeVert. Semi-dry snitching on your teammate about missing a workout in the microphone. Soft move or boss move?
This is definitely a soft move. I mean, he's been snitching since he got in the league, and wonder why he's not in L.A. no more. Because, just like Magic said when they traded him, this is one of the key words Magic said. We want players here that players want to play with. Nobody wants to play with a snitch. Okay? And I'm pretty sure in Brooklyn, the mecca of basketball, they don't want any snitches out there either. So he needs to get it together in some type of way, just play basketball and try to stay away from talking.
Yep.
Because like especially in the areas where I come from and the areas where the majority of the basketball players come from, snitching is a no-no. Whether it's snitching on your friend or snitching, period. And when you're in the locker room on an NBA team, it's a lot of stuff that go on that you have to turn a blind eye to in the NBA. It's not your business. But knowing that this guy has history of putting his nose in somebody else's business, I wouldn't want to be around him. And the guy's going to be cautious of what they say and do around him for the rest of his career.
And he just got there.
And he got to deal with that.
This is like his first or second workout, and he's already sort of pointing the finger at the teammate a little bit. It was harmless, not like Nick Young's thing, but it was pretty harmless. But still, it's like this is a pattern behavior now. Like you're on the habitual line stepping line right now.
You gonna tell. You got that jacket on you that you gonna tell. That's not a good jacket to have to start your NBA career.
I'm glad you brought up the Magic Johnson thing because there's something I noticed in that quote. He said, "I'm looking for a leader. I need players. This and that." I was shocked by that. As someone who works in groups, I've worked at ESPN my whole career. No matter how much,
you're not gonna follow a snitch.
One thing, but it was one thing I thought it was a little bit of a mismanagement step from Magic Johnson, which is crazy to say about a billionaire Hall of Famer, but probably multimillionaire. But he said, It's like you work in a group. You got Rob Pelinka, you got the front office, you got the Bus family, you got the other players on the team. Like, do you think it was a soft move or a boss move for him to use first person and say I instead of we?
I think it was a boss move considering he's the one making the decisions now. I think Jenny put him in that position to make that decision. I think it was his decision to get rid of D'Angelo. I think it was his decision to decide to sign Ball. So at the end of the day, he's really making all those decisions. So I don't think he was saying he took away from being an organization or being on the same page with Jenny and Rob. I don't think he meant that. I think at that point when he was speaking of him and how he felt the decision he probably had to make, which is a great decision, Magic. I haven't seen Ball play, but what I've heard from a lot of my colleagues, from a lot of people I respect in the game of basketball, the highest, what people love about him is his basketball IQ. There's so many kids that don't know the game. They have a lot of talent, but they don't make it long because they don't know the game. The fact that he has a basketball IQ and that's what everybody's high on, I got to be high on it too because I love guys that actually know the game.
A lot of NBA players are rapping. Moss Shumpert's out there, Taylor's out there.
Shout out to all the rappers.
NBA players dropping mixtapes.
Shout out to the NBA rappers that's putting their music out though. There's a lot of guys that rap, but all you NBA guys don't put your music out. Shout out to Shumpert, Marquise Daniels, and Damian Lillard. And Lou Williams. They put their music out. All you other guys, you're not rappers because you're not putting your music out.
You talking about KD and LeBron's little song?
Well, yeah.
What if you're just playing around?
You can play around with it, but we don't respect that. Like, I have a song with KD called The Lonely at the Top, and KD can actually rap. And if he actually wanted to put out a mixtape, he could because he actually can rap. But they don't put their music out, so we don't consider them as NBA rappers. I only consider those four guys I said as actual NBA rappers.
Well, you've got a lot of experience in this. You've got some mixtapes out there. Give yourself a plug.
Well, I got Stack 5. I got mixtapes out for days. And my last mixtape was Real I Remain. Shout out my brother Mozzie. I got a couple mixtapes out. Jack of All Trades. What's a Lockout? Like I said, Real I Remain. So Trill mixes. I got a lot of mixtapes out, man. But I consider myself one of the best. I'm just not in the NBA. But I still consider myself the best. I'm actually trying to put together an NBA cipher. I've been talking to ESPN about producing it for me, but I want to get these guys together and do like an NBA cipher to show that it's just because we play basketball don't mean we can't rap. And we all know sports and entertainment and hip hop goes hand in hand. And a lot of these, like the guys I noticed, that I mentioned, they can really do this. So in order for us to eventually get the ultimate respect and the real respect as hip-hop artists, we have to come together and support each other. And I think that cipher will be the way to knock down that door.
No doubt. Finally, there's a guy named Lee who got married. During the cake-cutting ceremony, he wore a Dolphins helmet.
I've seen it.
Wearing a Dolphins helmet during your wedding reception, soft move or boss move?
Goodness, man. That's a boss move.
It's a boss move.
You gotta have balls to do that.
And also, it means that your wife co-signs it, and that's, you know what I mean. If you're like, look, the Dolphins are very important to me. I want to put this helmet on. My wife would just be like, I'm not marrying you. Can I get a divorce now? I know we just got married, but can I get a divorce now if you're gonna put that helmet on? But I love that his wife was like, yeah, man, whatever makes you happy, Lee. Wear the helmet.
Whatever he decided to take to give him the confidence before that wedding to put the helmet on, I want to try it.
Good for him.
I want to try it.
I just hope that he took the helmet off later. We have a very simple motto on this program.
Give the people what they want.
Question for you here. To Trill's Track 5. Who was your favorite player to play against, and who did you enjoy scoring on?
My favorite player playing against was Kobe Bryant, for the simple fact that he brought the best out of me. I knew that he was going to try to embarrass me as much as he could.
A lot of Spurs-Lakers series.
Yep, and I just knew his passion and his will to win, and I wanted to match it every time I played him. And I love playing against him. But scoring on...
Let me ask a Kobe Bryant question.
Yeah.
When you're guarding him, and he's 19 feet from the basket, and you know he's going to turn over his right shoulder and shoot a fadeaway, and you know it's going to happen, and he shoots it anyway and scores on you, what does it feel like?
Good D, better offense.
It seems like
defense,
he did
better
it so
offense.
much. He just did it so much. It was just like, because I know you guys watch the tapes and you get the scouting reports and everything.
I know what he's going to do. I know what he's going to do, but it's for some reason. And you know what? You know what he's going to do. The scouting reports, San Antonio is the best at scouting reports now. They let you know everything the player is going to do, even Kobe. But for some type of reason, he always adds something. Like a little wiggle to throw you off, up and under or something to add to throw, and that's why he was so great.
What about scoring on?
Scoring on, my favorite player scoring on was Al Harrington.
Shout out.
Of course,
the relationship you had with him?
My boy, and we talked trash before games, and it's always felt good. And I got highlights too, so it always feel good to throw it in his face. But I'm gonna hear this shot from BIG3 forever. I'm gonna hear this for the next couple weeks. I'm gonna hear it.
For those who don't know, Al Harrington hit a nice little turnaround on you.
Nice.
You had your right hand up in his face.
I was on top of it.
And then you switched to your left hand to get a better contest. I watched it today because I knew you were coming on the show. You switched to your left hand to get a better contest, but you know what the worst part was? He fell over.
And tripped me.
And then tripped you up. So you end up on the ground after defending the game winner. That hurts.
Looks pretty bad.
It looks bad on camera.
But if anybody did that, tell me I'm glad it's my best friend.
There you go.
Kobe never scored 81 on me, though.
No.
Al
Harrington never scored 81 on you? Anybody ever score 81 on you?
No, I don't think nobody ever scored 50 on me.
Okay.
I don't remember.
We don't do too much research around here, so don't worry about fun. Don't worry about it if they did. Nope. Next question we have is from Midwest Hoophead.
Shout out.
Obi-Wan Jacoby, that's me, said
Obi-Wan
players
Jacoby
should call Steph Wardell to get in his head. Do you agree? His name is Wardell.
Right. Why would that get in his head? That's been his name for...
It's a corny name and no one calls it. At some point he said, I don't want to be called Wardell, I want to be called Steph.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to be called Wardell, but if someone calls him, it won't bother him. I'm pretty sure he's heard it from his mom or his grandmother somewhere in his life.
Fair.
And I'm pretty sure his sister and brother teased him about it. So
that's fair.
Like I said, people all talking say my nose. I've heard every nose joke in the world. My nose, they call me shotgun. I need beach towels to blow my nose.
Those are good.
My boogers look like bowling balls.
Those
I've
are all
heard
good.
every nose joke in the
Those are
world.
all
So
good.
there's nothing they can say to me now.
Those are all good. From 1 to 100, Matthias wants to know, how would you rate Drake's performance in the award show?
I didn't really see it, but the fact that he took the time to do it, was great. I mean, he's one of the biggest names in music right now.
He loves the NBA too.
He loves basketball.
Yes,
and I don't see anybody else more fitting than Drake, considering how much he's been involved in the NBA the last couple of years.
And he hosted the ESPYs a few years ago, and he was really,
awesome.
really great.
Yeah.
He was great at the ESPYs, not just like what you saw on the television, but all the people that worked with him behind the scenes. He was really dedicated to it. He really cared about it, showing up to stuff on time, and he was just like really sweet guy, just like be around.
Real
Like, it was
genuine
just
guy.
like a good dude. So like, I don't think that he knocked it out of the park like Chris Rock would or whatever. But you know what? Like I said it before, the first time you do anything is always tricky.
Right.
And I thought that he pulled that off well.
He did a great job.
Uncle Mar wants to know, can you see Paul George going to the Wizards after next year instead of L.A. or Cleveland?
No. I could, but it probably won't happen. I could see it, because John Wall is when he listens, it's attractive to listen to. He's a great player. He wants to win. He's one of those guys that guys will want to play with, but I don't see it happening because it's too much other stuff. That's a better situation for Paul George, Boston, Cleveland. So it's a good something to talk about, but I don't see it happening.
This one's from Goron. Steven, give us a story about Tim Duncan. What made Timmy so special, and where would you put him in the list of all-time greats?
Well, he's the best power forward ever in my mind. I think to get a compliment like I've gotten from the best power forward to ever play the game, as he labels me as the best team, the ultimate teammate, the best teammate ever. That's something I hold dearly. I think the biggest thing about Tim was when you didn't have confidence in yourself in games, he had confidence in you. When you were missing shots and you feel like you shouldn't even be out there, he's still throwing you the ball. He kept. There's been times where I didn't make shots, and he was like, him and Steve Kerr come to me. You're gonna make shots. You're gonna make big shots at the end of the game. And it came true, So he's just a guy that he's even though he's one of the best powerful ever and was a star on our team, he never put himself on a pedestal. We was always equal. Pop got on him just as Pop got on me. And Tim wanted to be that person, and that's one thing I respect about him. A lot of stars, they want to be treated different. They want to be put on the pedestal, and I think that's why San Antonio always has success and have so many championships, because they treated their best player like their worst player, and I think Tim forced them to do that.
Question about San Antonio: what is it about Popovich?
What people love about him?
Yeah,
that he treats everybody like family. If I call Pop today, after everything we've been through and not be playing there and tell him I fell on hard times, he'll go out his way to help me. He made everybody he made everybody feel like a family on that team. And when you're on that team, Pop leads by example and shows you that it's about this team and it's about winning. It's about nothing else. And you got to respect that. You have to respect it.
You have a great question from David. Not me, David Norton. Does mustard belong on a hamburger? Great question.
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
What's your go-to hamburger?
I've stopped eating red meat, but my go-to hamburger would probably be a stupid fat burger, 2 patties.
What's on top?
I have lettuce, tomato, pickles, mustard, ketchup, no mayo, avocado.
Ooh.
Add a little avocado and probably a little ranch or barbecue sauce.
Wow. Do you know what I go with? Which is, people don't do this that much.
What?
Steak sauce.
No question.
A1 steak sauce on the burger.
When I grill my burgers,
yes,
I grill them with steak sauce.
Yes,
with A1 steak sauce.
Always steak sauce. You can put it in the raw meat first too and mix it in there.
Yes.
A1 steak sauce. Every time I go to the grocery store, I get a new bottle.
That's how I make my burgers.
Why did you get more steak sauce? I'm like, I never want to run out of steak sauce.
You got to drench that raw patty with A1, put it on the grill, let the smoke get in there.
Do you ever use a little egg white? or something. But I'll take a lot of meat. Like if I'm having people over, I'll have like 3 pounds and then put a little egg white in there with my steak sauce. And
what does the egg white do?
It makes it congeal so it sticks together better.
Congeal, that's a new word for the day.
Yeah, congeal is the new word for the day. They stick together better so they don't break up. You ever have been like flipping a burger and it kind of breaks up a little bit?
Yes.
And I'm like, I say, I'll eat that one. You know what I mean?
Right,
So I want a perfect burger for everybody else.
Right.
A little bit of egg white will help you out there.
I got you. Free game.
One more question. This is basically the same question. This is from the Cerebral Assassin.
Shout out.
What are your favorite dishes for the 4th of July?
4th of July, it was always barbecue, but at home, when I'm at home, my family, my uncle, my little brother cook. My favorite dishes normally be crawfish, salt and pepper fried catfish, and fried ribs, fried smoked ribs. So what they do, they smoke them on the grill, then fry them in the batter.
Then fry them?
Unbelievable.
I've never had crawfish or fried ribs in my life.
Got to experience it, bro.
Yeah, I'd love to. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much, Steven Jackson, in for Jalen Rose today.
Thanks for having me, man.
Jalen and Jacoby.
Stay gone, Jalen. I'm staying.